All right, let's talk about ships, folks. We have a lot of ships coming to Star Citizen soon, and when I say a lot, I mean possibly too many. We've got our ship tracking database here, where we can talk about what we know is coming, what progress has been made on it, when that last progress was made, and what the unannounced ships might be based on the things that we're learning. But we've got the most recent monthly report with a whole bunch of information and some pictures, some nice little pretty pictures about the ships that are coming up. So let's get started, Toes Gang. If you enjoy this, we do it live all the time after a monthly report comes out on the main channel, Space Tomato Gaming, or you can find the streams on Twitch. What is wrong with my lights? You also get to enjoy all of my on the go tech support. You can be part of the tech support as we come with problems on the stream, but mainly we like to go over info and kind of what's been happening, keep up with the developments. So let's start. In the UK, the ship's team progressed with the Gatac Railen, preparing it for its grey box gate review at the end of March. As part of this, the team brought up some areas of the ship to later pipeline standards to help set the tone for larger Gatac-style spaces. I just put out a video about the Gatac Railen, so I'm not going to bore you with a whole bunch of the footage, but I will pull up a couple of pictures of it just to remind you what it looks like. This is the Gatac Railen. Looks like a hulking behemoth when it's landed. Looks a little bit more like a Siulen when it's flying. When they made this ship, one of the concepts originally became the Siulen, and all of the Gatac concepts after that look really cool. But this is a ship that is, I think, deceptively small. It looks really big, but it seems like it's a little bit smaller than that for some reason. It's got interesting bespoke cargo pods that they had to figure out. It's got crazy animations, anti-gravity tech, all kinds of stuff that sets it apart from other ships in the game. You can see even the materials they use are kind of organic looking, little stone textures and stuff. So this is going to be one that stands out and probably stands out a lot to people who don't play Star Citizen as much. But I also know there's a lot of people who have just been waiting for this for a while. So congratulations to you. It is still expected to come out in June, even though it's in its gray box gate review in March. I guess that does mean it's going to be hitting its Lot 0 here in April. I'm going to change confidence to absolute because we know this is coming, right? We know for a fact this is coming Alien Week. It's around June 14th and 15th. Moving on, the Graycat UTV wrapped up testing and is awaiting its release into the PU. This thing is ready to go. They're not talking about it like they did the Hull B, but it is ready to go. They didn't release any videos about the Graycat UTV, but they did show us some sneak peeks of it, I believe, here.
The Graycat UTV, which we can show you now. Yay! Hey, little.
Yeah, so this one is cool because it's got that 1SU box in the back. It's not the only one, as I've learned, but it is one of the only ones that keeps that 1SU intact so you can put bigger items in it. And I like the ease of access here. I think that's the most important part. It's just sitting right there on the outside.
Which we can show you now. Yay! Hey, little guy. The Captains of Industry promotion, which sees the return.
All right, so that's that. That's the UTV. Not really too much to say about it other than it's a ground vehicle with 1SU. A lot of people probably use it as a CCU token, but I think it's going to be useful to people. So let's go ahead and update it here. Graycat UTV, confidence. I'm going to put absolute on this one as well. I had it as a April 15th expected release. It looks like I'll be about 1 week off. We're going to dial it into April 9th. It's wrapping up testing. You really can't say much. You can't more clearly say that it's done. Next up, the Hull B had its combined Lot 0 and final gate review. This was due to some teams coming into aspects late, which would cause the earlier gate to technically not be passed. However, all other teams' work was done for the later stage. All right, so in March, the Hull B had its gate review, Lot 0. Missed its first gate review, but passed this one, and it will now be released this month. I also had an expected release date on this one of May, so I was about a month off on that as well. We're going to put that at the 9th too, and put it at absolute. The Drake Ironclad, Ironclad Assault, and Command Module all progressed through their Lot 0 phases, with the team starting a full lighting and detail pass across all three to unify the visuals. Alongside this, the team returned to the Caterpillar to set it up for the Command Module. Oh boy, the Ironclad. Okay, before we do the Ironclad, I will show you guys who missed it before a quick preview of the Hull B. I know this is the April Fool's episode, okay, but this is the Hull B. Like, they're not gonna just create a whole ship for this joke. The way that this cargo works might be a little different. Honestly, I think that this spinning mechanism might still be a part of it. That doesn't seem like a bad idea to me, for instance. But we'll have to see. It would be a little bit weird for this thing to just fly with these things sticking straight out when it is fully loaded. But yeah, besides the flapping, like this is what the Hull B will look like. And honestly, it looks quite a bit different from a Hull A. A lot of people said it looks too close to a Starlancer. Personally, I like that they're diversifying the Hull series. I think it's cool that all the Hull series looks pretty much the same, but allowing them to look a little bit different, maybe because they were made at slightly different times in the lore. You can always retcon that. Or just because like different sizes call for different focuses. I don't see really a problem with it. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Hull B offers. Could be a really, really good cargo hauler. Won't be one for me, but it looks nice.
Was a pretty compelling argument.
And it has antennas.
Carry a huge amount of cargo on them.
But that's the Hull B. Let's talk about the Ironclad, because this one is probably the most hyped ship of the year. Not the last 3 years. It's just big, and it's a cargo hauler, and it opens from the top, and it's Drake.
Vehicles on the ground.
What is there not to like about it?
Roof for doing that in space with EVA as well.
Little tight entrances to cargo ships doesn't necessarily lend itself to when you're out in deep space and you're trying to quickly move some cargo from one person's ship into your ship. Really, you want as much kind of access to be able to do that as you possibly can. So by having this kind of much larger opening on top of the ship, it allows us to kind of bring cargo in much easier.
So it's roll big.
And then on top of that, the very important part is the command module.
Attach it.
So this is a big part. This is the thing that sets the Ironclad apart from other ships truly, besides its size and all that stuff.
And then you have the command module, which has seats for the crew, plus a few little jump seats for everyone else. Command module is there to steer the ship when it's attached, and the command module serves as the escape pod as well. The only time you really want to detach it is in an emergency. It's not designed to be your sort of primary ship flying around.
Okay, he says that. I don't understand why not. If it has quantum fuel, a quantum drive, cargo I don't think it has cargo space, but it has space for passengers, engines, life support. I wonder what it is that they are going to do to make sure we only use it in emergencies.
It kind of gives you a little bit of a get out of jail free card if you're transporting stuff that is quite valuable, quite sought after in maybe some of our less desirable systems. What it allows you to do is kind of have a little bit of security. So if you're getting attacked or you're getting yourself into trouble, if you want to save yourself, you can kind of jettison your cargo and try and get out of dodge and kind of get out to safety. And I think that's like a really important thing as we get closer to Death of a Spaceman.
With some of the recent tech that's come online.
I hear you. Small fuel tanks, short quantum range, but all of those things still put it above something like an 85X, which is not an emergency ship, right? It's still a runabout. Why? We'll have to see. The interesting thing about this, though, is that it seems like they're treating the command module as its own ship, which, was kind of the original concept. So we're going to go ahead and add the command module in here as a separate input, the Drake command module, and we're going to put it on absolute release. Final art, I want to say it's at. This is a kind of a rework, I guess you could say. Escape pod. What do I even mark this as? Expected release. It's going to be at Drake Defense Con. When is Drake Defense Con? Right after Invictus Week, but I don't even know what the specific dates for that are. May 30th to June 1st. So this is probably going to be, May 30th. So the Ironclad and the Ironclad Assault also are in their Lot 0 phases, with the team starting a full lighting and detail pass across all three to unify the visuals. So let's go ahead and put this on the Ironclad here. And we still have the expected release as the 28th. We're going to keep it May 28th. All right, same as Drake Ironclad I have for the Ironclad Assault. We're not going to add anything else on there. But you guys got a pretty good shot of what it looks like.
One step closer to implementing command modules properly. So not only will you see this detachable command module feature on the Ironclad, but as well it will happen on the Caterpillar.
Interior-wise, you've kind of got 2 inches.
And that's what they confirmed. So a lot more to go over with this ship. But we have covered it quite a bit. and I don't feel like we need to cover it in super high detail again here. Just know it's got secure storage. The Ironclad Assault has a repair bay on the back. Plenty of space on the inside with some walkways that you can use to say hi to people and maybe shoot people who are boarding you. Overall, though, it's just a big cargo ship from Drake. Moving on, several devs moved back onto the RSI Galaxy after a small hiatus, helping other projects out. We didn't hear about the Galaxy for a little while there. Like other ships in pre-production, they went over the original layout and made adjustments, both for flow and to make use of the ever-growing asset library, all while keeping true to the role and intent of the ship. This involved adjusting the front half of the lower deck to be less isolated and prevent it from leading to a dead end. Other areas were also adjusted to current metrics using suitable assets from other RSI ships. The Galaxy is a big crowd favorite. Honestly, a lot of the ships they're working on are big crowd favorites right now as they get better and better at making large ships and they focus more on it. Here is a little look at the Galaxy for you guys.
With true modularity that has different sections of the middle of the ship that can be changed out to support significant and real gameplay loops.
It is built on the same kind of ethos as the Connie, but it's scaled up to a larger crew size.
The Galaxy has a very industrial feel compared to previous iterations, and the Constellation is a prime example. It has far less focus on its combat capabilities.
It's not a warship, so it's not bristling with guns, but it's got what it needs. We were just going for a ship that when you saw it, it just looked like you want to just get together with your friends.
This guy has designed so many Star Citizen ships, it's crazy.
We were just going for a ship that when you saw it, it just looked like you want to just get together with your friends, get that thing off the ground, turn it around and just fly as far as you can.
For me, I think the favourite thing about the Galaxy is just the look of it, in conjunction with the layout. It does keep that classic RSI sort of sub-capital shape to it.
We've got the nice big exposed engines with we've started to bring like metal onto the engines, like a kind of a titanium material to complement the kind of cooler greys and blacks of the rest of the superstructure.
For me, RSI goes into kind of two different groups. You've got the slightly kind of more bulbous shaped ships, and then you've got this really aggressive arrow-headed kind of stance. And I think for me, the Galaxy kind of really falls into that arrow-shaped kind of...
Space Doritos. And they got a couple in-engine shots, I think, of the work they were doing on it back here.
One individual part, who one day might decide that them and all their friends are going to go out and do a load of mining and refining, making lots of money from gathering resources. But then the next day might decide that they want to do some cargo hauling across the verse. So they go from one system to another, transporting huge amounts of goods. The next day they might decide that them and their friends want to have a battle, so they need someone to be able to hear people. It's a ship that allows them to experience the most of the game without limiting themselves.
Modular ships should be interesting because they're essentially never going to be the best at what they do, right? So everybody's going to be attracted to them because of the capabilities of what they have on paper. But there's no doubt CIG is going to gimp these to make sure that they're not better than dedicated ships at what they do. So I think there's going to be an interesting ebb and flow of people picking up modular ships, realizing they like one specific thing that modular ship does, and then moving to the ships that actually do that thing well. But there'll definitely be a market for these kinds of ships that do multiple things. It's just not going to be the best at what it does. That being said, Galaxy is a pretty cool ship, and I am excited for the release of it. Let's get it updated in here. It's been a little while, so I think it's pretty far down on the list. Oh no, here it is. Last update was January 21st. So it has been a couple months. They haven't worked on it this year yet. So this will be the first update of the year on the Galaxy. And what did we get from it again? It's in pre-production. It was on a small hiatus. And they went over stuff for flow, front half of deck, other areas were adjusted, because this is a long update, but we'll put it all in there. Gotta be thorough. So it entered pre-production in November, December. That's all we got. They didn't really do much work on it after that. Now in March, they went back through the asset library. They looked at the flow of the ship, the original layout, all that kind of stuff. It's probably gonna be a regular update every month from now on. Expected release is still IAE of this year. We're still expecting a November release, even if it's in pre-production now. We'll see how it goes. After that, we have 5 unannounced vehicles all progressing through March. The first successfully passed both its white box and gray box reviews and is on track for its LOD 0 review shortly. The team has made great progress on the ship, as it has grown from an initially simple idea into something much more complex. Interesting. I now feel like they're numbering their unannounced vehicles, which makes me a little peeved because I haven't been. But let's see if we can match this one to something. So, passed its white box and gray box review, on track to LOD 0, and is complex. Well, our first unannounced ship we had was in the white box last time we saw it. It was progressing quickly due to the availability of existing brand kit. Had its white box gate review in January, which flagged some issues with its main gameplay feature not behaving as expected, passing its white box review. It is currently receiving tweaks to the layout before gray box. So that could be the ship, but no, this is that ship. So this is something different. It would have to be something that was not in gray box or beyond. Could be this. This is the potential hammerhead variant we had. First successfully passed its white and gray box review. I don't know if it would have had white and gray box reviews. I think I'm gonna go with it, to be honest. It's the first one they listed here. They're numbering them off from now on. So we're just gonna assume this is the first unannounced, passed its white box and gray box reviews, and is headed for LOD 0. It would make sense also because then it would match up with the release of the Hammerhead Gold Standard that they're aiming for. I don't know, folks. I'm starting to get a little more confident about this one. Just a teeny bit. I still don't know what kind of ship it is, so we'll leave that undone. But it does look like it might be a May release. Yeah, Hammerhead Gold Standard's coming out in 4.8. I betcha this is the related ship to the Hammerhead, and it's dropping around that same time. So let's go ahead and plant it right in the middle of this month before Invictus drops. I'm gonna put confidence for this one at medium. The second unannounced ship approached its LOD 0 review. Wait a second. This one's LOD 0. With the devs moving through the interior, while other teams such as UI started working on the required updates. What the heck does that mean? Okay, so the second was in LOD 0. Last time we checked on it. Let's see. So that might be this one. Moved through white box with the team focusing on its unique hero rooms, OEM that hasn't been worked on in a while. It had its white box gate review in January, which flagged some issues. No, that's not right. That was with the other one. Shoot. Progressing quickly to the availability of existing kit. Flagged, okay. Fourth upcoming ship had its white box review, flagged in January. Yeah, I don't know which of these is that one now. But this one passed its gray box in February. So we can go ahead and assume, I'm going to assume that this is the second one. I don't know when an expected release of it would be, but I'm going to put the last updated date to April 1st. I'm going to keep it at low confidence. I don't really know what else to expect from this, but we'll add the note for it. The third unannounced ship passed its gray box gate review and is approaching its LOD 0 review at the start of April. Bro, that's insane. 1, 2, 3 ships are approaching their LOD 0 reviews. Meanwhile, the Hull B passed its LOD 0, and the Graycat passed its LOD 0. And the Ironclad's approaching LOD 0. My God, the next 2 months of ship releases is going to be crazy. Did I miss anything here for LOD 0? No, yeah, this is past LOD 0. This is release imminent. The Hull B is also release imminent. We don't even need to have those on LOD 0, but the Drake Ironclad's LOD 0, Ironclad Assault's LOD 0, Command Modules LOD 0, these unannounced ships are LOD 0. This third one is approaching LOD 0, passed its gate review. The team made some minor adjustments to the cockpit to give the player better viewer angles, alongside more refined inputs on the control stick. That's interesting. So it was in gray box. We have 3 that were in gray box last we checked. We know one is a new model for sure. Any other tips we can get about how the heck this thing works? The third passed its gray box, approaching LOD 0 in April. There's not really any context clues here, so we're just gonna have to guess at it. This one's also going to have variants. Could be that. This other one says, from a manufacturer that hasn't been worked on for a while and entered production after the initial concept phase, passed its white box review gate in January. So there's a good chance that if they're referring to the third here like that, they're referring to the third in the same way here in March. So let's just find where this come from. Currently receiving tweaks to the layout. Concept phase? No. Team talking feedback? No. Did I not freaking save the one with... Oh, here we go. So this was the third. It was progressing due to the availability of its existing brand kit. It's definitely not the fourth, so we'll remove that. Passed its white box review. Currently receiving tweaks to the layout. I'm going to assume this is still the third one, all right? We're going to go ahead and mark this one down as March. Put it as the third ship again. I think they're starting to be a bit more consistent with how they reference those. And we'll change the updated date to April 1st. That's crazy. Let's keep going. As mentioned in last month's report, the fourth ship had its gray box gate review following review and feedback implementation. Although this delayed the progress slightly, it will result in a much stronger end result. Now, I don't think they mentioned a fourth ship in last month's report, did they? They only mentioned 3 unannounced ships. Yeah, I guess they don't necessarily emphasize between the EU and US team here, but they go back to the UK teams. And then they go to the North American team down here. So I don't know. It's a little weird. Maybe it would be better to just list unannounced ship updates grouped based by month. We'd have so many inputs though. We would basically have an input for every month going forward. I feel like it'd be hard to try and track them. This isn't the most reliable way, but at least it's a little fun. Could be this one. February is approaching its gray box gate review. I'm gonna go with that. We'll see if it pans out. Last updated April 1st. Still don't know what the heck it is, but it is in the gray box still because it didn't pass its review. The UK team's final unannounced ship progressed towards its white box review. This is turning out to be quite complex in terms of animations and estates, but the end result will be worth it. That's an interesting one. White box reviews. So this is an early boyo. Maybe it's this one. We didn't know what it was before. Some of the team began laying the groundwork for the second new vehicle. Good. Freaking, it could be that. I'll put it down. Who knows? Now we're moving on to the North American team. North America is working on the Drake Kraken. And if you look at it in the picture here, it's huge. It's massive. Let's see if I save it. Yeah, it literally says Kraken. So this is a picture of the Kraken's landing gear. This is going to be a big ship, man. They say the capital ship successfully passed its white box gate review, which was a major milestone for what will be the largest player flyable ship on release. The team then concentrated their efforts on the main hero rooms, such as engineering, core traversal routes through the ship, and implementing the new bespoke manned turrets and weapons. Again, this is a big boy. This is a pretty big deal ship. The fact that it's passed its white box review is pretty impressive because it's a big white box. So let's go ahead and add this into the updates. You can see it has quite a few of them. It was in pre-production starting in July 2025, kept going through pre-production in August, entered white box in September. So keep in mind, the Kraken went into white box in September of last year and is only just now passing out of the white box phase in the gray box. Solid though. It is making progress. And we're going to go ahead and assume... We're going to keep our assumption of a late May of 2027 release for that and update the last updated date. Let me show you the Kraken real quick. It's got a nice trailer. It's going to jump forward so you can actually see the ship though.
The time has come for something new. Something to change the game.
It's basically a home base.
Fortunes at the fringes of civilization. You need someone you can trust. In this age of uncertainty, it's time to take back your strength. It's time to release the Kraken. Drake Interplanetary.
Star Citizen, give PK his Kraken. I promise I won't crash into it when I come and land. So that's the Kraken. And that's yet another one that's on the way. If you're not getting the idea at this point, they're working on a lot of important ships right now. Finally, alongside the final support for the release of the RSI Aurora Mark II, an unannounced vehicle continued through the gray box. Minor adjustments were made to the flow to aid traversal in the rear half of the ship, and additional windows were added throughout. So this is another unannounced vehicle. Is that a new one? Dude, I don't even know if these are out. We do need to do, let's see, rework. Okay, they released the rework there. One of these is probably the Aurora Mark II, right? Maybe it's this one? No, I think this was the Hermes. I'm gonna mark these actually as the Hermes so we can get it out of here. The Aurora Mark II, we didn't really get a chance to put it on here, so we're just gonna add it at the bottom. And we're gonna say absolute confidence, already released. The Aurora Mark II is released, and now they're talking about something else, some other unannounced ship. Oh my God. I have no idea where to put this. It's continuing through the gray box phase. Okay, in that case, we do have something here in the gray box phase. I am going to assume it's this. This is the North American team, right? So actually that fits. Progressed through white box last month. Variants got blocked out to ensure there are no surprises when they go into development at a later date. The team also adjusted some of the interior spaces to add more windows between rooms based on feedback, passing its white box gate review, with the team talking feedback regarding some of the interactions with the element in the rear half. In the rear half! That's our clue! I freaking love when the clues actually line up like that. That is awesome. So we're just now reading in this monthly report that they made minor adjustments to the flow to aid traversal in the rear half of the ship. This is the only ship I've ever heard them refer to something as having a rear half. So it makes sense then that not only is this a ship with a dedicated rear half, but that rear half is probably going to mean it has variants, because this is likely the same ship that they talked about back in January, saying that they were doing extra work so that there are no surprises when they go into development at a later date. That is the variants. So we're going to mark this one down and keep a close eye on this and see if it does have variants coming out and if it fits coming from the North American team. But we will keep the most recent mention as April 1st, and we'll hope for the best. That is the final ship in this update. That's a lot of freaking ships that they're working on, dude. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Not including the release, which takes them away, so 12. We got an update on 12 different ships, from the Graycat UTV to the Drake Kraken. Not bad. There's your ship update for the month, guys. I hope you got all the news you were looking for.